YouTube. What's up, Heather? Hello, how are you? What's going on? You're the first one tonight on Periscope, no less. Wow. Okay. Adrian from Queens, Timothy from Ottawa. What's going on? Timothy, Ottawa, Canada. Beautiful. Hey, Taylor in Texas. What's up? Jay Don in Ontario, Canada. What's up, Alan? How are you? Chris in Illinois. YouTube is live. Fantastic. Carmelina, nice name. All right. Mike, is that Dr. Michael? Wonderful to see you. Alan in Ohio, Defiance, Ohio. Misty, wonderful. Vivian in Vermont. God's country. The North is all God's country. It's so beautiful up there. So is Florida, but we're just hot. Travis in North Carolina, what's going on? We're gonna have more viewers tonight because YouTube is picking up steam. What's up, Janice in Long Island? Welcome. Western New York, Tracy. Hello there. Aurora, Colorado. Dominique. Hello, Dominique. Ben Tapper country here. I have some Ben Tapper video for you guys tonight. How about that? Oh, Vita, you're welcome. I'm trying to give hope. It's hey, there's some days, let me tell you. There's some days we battle. Anybody else battle some days out there? Hey, you're not the only ones. I've had my days. All right. Sean, Texas. Thank you. Love your show. I appreciate it. Lena from New York. Welcome. Miguel from Toronto. Ciao, Tatiana from, I think it was Wisconsin. I don't know. I missed it. Massachusetts. Hello there. Fredonia, New York. I know Fredonia, Natalie, pretty well. Decent. Dr. Lisa Palmer and my lovely daughter saying we love you. I love you too. Get to bed, Leah May. Zoe, what's going on? Australia. Kelly Lemons, how are you? Facebook's messing with it already. What are they doing? On my end, YouTube is growing fast when they don't suspend me again, put me in jail. What's going on, everybody? Hollywood, Lizette in Hollywood. Excellent. Good to see you in Hollywood. Go clean up Hollywood for us, okay? So we can actually watch some good quality movies, like ethical and moral movies. Wouldn't that be great? Tremendous. Brooksville, Florida, yo. Jimmy in Cleveland, Tennessee. Hello there. What's happening? Wonderful. Maria in Alabama. Hello. Diana, Washington State. What's up? Everyone wants to know where I was? If you were on Facebook, I'm sorry. If you were on, what's the name of that? If you were on YouTube, I've been gone from YouTube the past week. I was still here. YouTube put me in jail, so I was gone for a little bit. That wasn't my fault. That was YouTube's fault. And they still won't tell me why. They said that I'm a scam artist. That's what they said, basically. They busted me for the Kamala Harris and Biden video, which I have no idea what I put in the appeal, have not heard back. They just said that I am banned for 7 days. That's what they said. So, but I'm back, which is actually funny because I had 3,000 streaming people at one time, and we're not at 3,000 now. It is a Monday night, but it should be higher than that, which is interesting. They're suppressing so much stuff. This is why I tell you to get on the website. And you know what? I have a thought. There is a false flag event that occurred in human history, which is considered to be one of the largest false flags ever perpetrated on human beings, that I am not going to say the word because it's ridiculous. Facebook has decided that if we mention any words, information, or disinformation, as they claim, about this massive event in human history, if we change the official narrative at all, you will be banned from Facebook. So I have spoke about this 2 times on camera since before here. Not 9/11. It is not 9/11. Think bigger. And they have lied even about this event. So what I have thought about doing is I have a gigantic database of material that I could show all of you about not only that event, but other events and the history of this planet. But I can't, because they're going to start tearing stuff down, and I want to be here. It's not the moon landing. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to tell you it's not the moon landing. It's not 9/11. It's the big one. And I thought about this. I need to be around for election. So I can't drop it here. I have dropped it. We've dropped it partially, but I could actually go into the details of it. So what I'm thinking about doing is, this is not official, but I'm thinking about doing is, the network will be generalized, what you're watching right now. Because this doesn't end at the election. It continues on. The Noble Patriots group page may become a health associated page, and then I may do bonus shows that just go to the website. And when I say they just go to the website, means you would literally not be able to find any of this content on any social media pages, because I will probably broadcast it directly and only to the revolutionnetwork.com, because the stuff that I can drop on you, I'm just not going to take the chance of it being stripped off of social media. And quite honestly, I want people off social media and I want them on my network, because if we're going to educate people, we're going to educate them properly. And you can't do that via social media, because social media is a suppressive organization that we're simply using right now to get the word out to as many people as possible. But going forward, I'm actually thinking about having the Noble Patriots After Dark, not on the group page, but strictly on the network, off all social media. Because guess what? They can't touch my website. They can't silence the revolutionnetwork.com. So where better to take it than to my own network, where people have to go if they want the really, really deep. And let me tell you, the amount of information I have on all these events and the history of the planet, the history literally of the world, is bigger than this whole library back here. So I am thinking about doing that, and you will not be able to watch it unless you literally go to the network. That's it. I'm not official on that, but that's kind of where I'm going with it, okay? Because we have a lot of people that want a lot of health help. That'll be on the network as well, and everything, because it's going to be broadened out. But Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else, they're just being stupid, right? They're being dumb about it, and we will not be silenced when it comes to this, okay? So that's an idea. It's not been finalized, but I'm kind of going that direction, all right? Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. Let's dive into it, all right? Let's dive into it. Let's anybody want to have a little fun to start this off? Anybody want to laugh? Who likes to dance? Let's see. Who likes to dance? Here's a song for you. Dance to this song.
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was permitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified classified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of classified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence, a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked.
amount,
Nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
my gosh.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains were top
It wasn't the best choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains were
It
top
was not a good choice.
6 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Good morning. I'm here to give you an
I'm sorry. That was so stupid that I had to play it. My dog is going nuts. That was so stupid that I had to play it. Now, I just told you before we did that, that there's things that we literally can't talk about going forward on this network. Not because I can't, but because social media is going to block it. Social media today is blocking one of the largest events on planetary history that we know of, because they're afraid that a narrative will get out that other people have been researching, including myself. Hillary's emails vaguely touch on it. So, I'm going to show you a couple things. I didn't get to show you these last night because Facebook went ballistic and took me off of everything. And my dog is staring at me in the window, and he is barking at me and trying to talk to me, just so you know. Okay, Hillary's email. Game over. All right. The source is notable. October surprise. Trump has Hillary's deleted emails. We'll release them shortly. I'm not going to go through all these videos. Clinton's 33,000 missing emails set to drop. Satanic crimes. Satanic crimes. President Trump delivers remarks at peaceful protest for law and order. Hillary's 30,000 deleted emails found and released. Flygate, CGI fly theories, Biden's America. Keep firing Nancy. Patriots have the shield of faith. The dog is taken care of. My wife has a dog. Interview with President Donald Trump on Rush Limbaugh. King Abdullah, Hillary Clinton's emails. Pompeo to release Hillary's emails before November 3rd per Trump's request. And then they go into this. Now, why might she be in the color green? Why would she be in the green color? She told investigators she wasn't aware that a C marking in the email she received on her private server indicated that the information was classified at the confidential level, according to documents the FBI released on Friday. The State Department determined that one email chain contained information that is classified at the confidential level, according to documents. But the emails apparently didn't contain any header or footer markings indicating that some information in the message was classified. You realize how much BS this is, right? I mean, literally, she knew she had classified information. Now, Comey was probably involved in this too. But why do I bring this up? Because there was something very large, right? Very large in her emails. Now, you haven't seen anywhere close to the amount of emails that are actually out there. There's only a snippet out there right now. Now, why are we so concerned really about Hillary's? I'm actually not concerned about, now, obviously Benghazi has to be handled. Hillary's treason has to be handled. I totally get, like, she has to be thrown in jail for treason. 100%. I shouldn't even say throw. I'm sorry, not jail. Let's just get the. I don't even want lethal injection. Let's get the ropes out. Like, I am not saying that myself. I am basing that on President Trump's executive order. So anybody who splices this clip or does anything, I did not say that. There is no threat based on executive order and the Constitution of the United States of America, or Constitution for the United States of America. See, they even brainwashed me. That's all I'm saying. Now, what I want to come out of this, because treason is easy in this. Like, that's like automatic. What I want to come out, Dr. Dean's going deep. I want the truth to come out. I want everyone to know this planet is not what they think it is. This goes back to the Phoenicians, but it's even before that. It goes back to Samaria. It goes back before that. All right? The problem with her emails is she knows about these things. So, she understands about Gilgamesh. All right? Remember, these people, they're not, so they call them satanic, but it's really Saturn, because they understand. Keep in mind, the elite follow astrology. They follow the planets. They always have. They know we live in a galactic neighborhood, and they have told humans, both in America and other countries, that we're just here on planet Earth. That's it. We're the center of the universe. Go through us to find God. Go through us to find Christ. That's it. Not really. They know about much deeper stuff. They know about the Nephilim. And they have been holding stuff back from the American public, from the world public. It's in her emails, folks. It's in her emails. She is playing with this as well. All right? Who are the Nephilim, however you want to say it, in the book of Genesis? Were they giants, fallen angels, or something else entirely? I'm not going to go through this whole thing. The book of Genesis contains many interesting stories, especially those that occurred before the Great Flood. In particular, the author writes about a peculiar race of creatures called the Nephilim. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. Is it possible that Hillary and her cohort are actually reconnecting to their origins? Because it's very possible that the elite are actually part of this. Let me actually back up. Not that they maybe are. They are. Now, I can't talk about, and by the way, I'm not saying I can't talk as in it, I'm in fear. I'm not in fear of it. I'm just going to do it on a different platform where I can't be stripped off, because I want to be here in the next 3 weeks for the election and the fallout for you. And if I go down the roads of what I could go down the roads of, they will have me taken off of Facebook. They'll have me taken off of YouTube, you name it. So that's why it's probably going to go straight to the network, and you'll have to be there or you won't be able to see it, because they are playing with the Draco reptilian race. That's who they're working with. All right? Now, I can say those words. I can get away with that. When you look at what's in the biblical text, when you look at, here you go, let me bring this over to you. When you dive into, by the way, I study a freaking lot. When you dive into the Earth Chronicles, right? When you dive into these, all right? And then you dive into authors like this, all right? And then when you dive into authors like this, all right? When you dive into all this different stuff, you're going to run across things that you would not have expected to run across. You're going to run across this stuff, all right? Because they're involved with things that most people will not be able to handle, all right? And I can't say this stuff on social media anymore or it's going to be torn off. So that's why I spent my money on the site to bring you guys real and true information. But you're going to have to go to it, therevolutionnetwork.com. That's how you're going to have to get the information when I go this. And I'm going to tell you, maybe it'll be in a week, 2 weeks. We'll see what happens with everything going on. But these people are playing with races of extraterrestrials. And we've talked about this on the show before. And then you have the other side playing with ETs of light, trying to wake us up to realize there is a galactic neighborhood that we're supposed to be a part of. But we keep playing with nuclear bombs. Did you know that nuclear bombs, when set off on Earth, have a cascading effect out into the universe that actually upsets other beings, other planets, other races? Yes, I know that sounds completely far-fetched, but it's absolutely 100% true. All right? And this, you have an election in 3 weeks for America. Yes, we have to restore the republic. We have to reinstall our constitution. We have to take our country back. We have to take other countries. We have to help other countries take their countries back, because everyone's a patriot in their own country, and we have to create a safe and quality and good planet again. But then you have to find out that you're part of something far, far bigger. And the things that these people will be exposed for in the next, hopefully, 3 months. Now, remember, there was a flood, right? There was a flood. Then we talk about this storm coming somewhere maybe between December 14th and 21st, somewhere in that general range. You got Jason talking about it. You have Red Kali talking about it. Is it possible that they're bringing the flood back to flood out, to extinguish the deep state that has been playing with something they should not have been playing with? This is literally a spiritual battle, all right? So you need to wake up to this. Now, I want to dive into something else. I just showed you a book. It's not a book, but I printed it out, okay? Because I have all this gentleman's information. Okay, Murder by Injection, the story of the medical conspiracy against America. This was written a long time ago, all right? It's amazing. It will blow your mind. I want to take you now to my good friend who's been on the show once before. I want to take you to his little town hall meeting where he stepped up again. This is Dr. Ben Tapper.
Tapper, 16909 Burke Street, Omaha, Nebraska. Again, my name is Dr. Tapper, and I am no stranger to you, as this is my third time here addressing the regulations and mask mandates. Imagine a virus so deadly and severe that you have to have a test done to find out whether or not you've had it. You guys are basing these numbers on positive cases and not hospitalizations or deaths. That's what you should be basing those off of. The numbers are hyperinflated by false positives and the never-ending doom and gloom from the mainstream media. I was taught that fear is the fire that fuels the furnace of disease. And when will this fear-mongering stop? It is terrifying to me to think how easily this mask mandate could turn into a vaccine one. You see, I follow the vaccine narrative very closely, and I have been for the last decade. I have witnessed firsthand the damages that can occur after a vaccination, conditions like transverse myelitis or Guillain-Barré. I have met many families that have lost a child to vaccine injury. Injuries are real and not rare. The companies that lie and gaslight these poor families are the same companies and organizations that feed you and the public this corona propaganda. Last year, the World Health Organization stated that the greatest threat to our health is people who refuse vaccinations. Shortly after that, the ACIP for the CDC stated that they cannot force vaccinations, but they could force compliance. How are they going to do that? I don't wear a mask anywhere I go, and the public shaming that occurs is beyond humiliating. I have been refused business, and on some occasions I couldn't enter the store. If the mask mandate turns into a vaccine mandate, you will not be allowed to go back to work, earn a paycheck, renew your driver's license, or function in everyday society without proof of the vaccination. We had draconian bills sweeping the nation last year coming after our medical freedoms, and then the coronavirus came. The Trojan horse to implement this tyrannical agenda. I believe this to be spiritual and psychological warfare on the people. The rate of suicide is the highest it ever has been in human history. More people have died this year of suicide than from corona. The National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline has seen a 65% increase in calls and emails since March. In other words, the vast majority of health, emotional, physical, psychological.
Let me take you to part 2.
Not be allowed to go back to work, earn a paycheck, renew your driver's license, or function in everyday society without proof of the vaccination. We had draconian bills sweeping the nation last year coming after our medical freedoms, and then the coronavirus came. The Trojan horse to implement this tyrannical agenda. I believe this to be spiritual and psychological warfare on the people. The rate of suicide is the highest it ever has been in human history. More people have died this year of suicide than from corona. The National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline has seen a 65% increase in calls and emails since March. In other words, the vast majority of health, emotional, physical, psychological, and financial hardships now faced by citizens are not due to COVID-19. They are due to ongoing catastrophic lockdowns, restrictions, and policies imposed by unaccountable, irrational governments. Since when is it your job to pass legislation on health? History teaches us that when the government takes away a certain freedom or liberty, they do not freely give it back. Martin Luther King Jr. once stated that oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. We are 6 months into this circus that was supposed to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I pray to the good Lord above that the people wake up and realize that we're not dealing with a temporary inconvenience here, but we are headed into a full-on medical dictatorship.
Thank you.
So, I know Dr. Ben Tapper personally, and yes, that's exactly how fired up he gets. Now, when I talk about the spiritual, galactic aspect of what is going on in this planet, and I talk about the things that I'm not going to talk about anymore on social media because it's too intense, it's too deep, it's going to have to be done on the website. Vaccines are directly involved with those things. Vaccines are a spiritual battle. You can think whatever you want out there, right? You can be one of those parents right now, and if you are a noble patriot on this feed right now, and you share this out there, and this right now, this video ends up in somebody's hands, a mother, a father, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, a government employee, it doesn't matter. And you've never seen this show before, you've never seen me before, let me explain something to you. The moment that needle goes in to anybody, but mostly a child, there is irreparable damage done. And this has nothing to do with the immunity, the immune system, health. It has simply to do with population control. It's very fascinating that when Dr. Stella Emanuel. Dr. Stella Emanuel, several months ago, lit up on fire overnight because she stood up in front of, I think, the Capitol, and she claimed exactly what she knew, which was there was a fix. But you know what's fascinating? The mainstream media, who's supposed to be giving truth to the public, the very next day ran an article on Dr. Stella Emanuel saying that she was crazy because she has a ministry and she talks about and believes in things like alien DNA in vaccines and reptilians on planet Earth and possible demons coming down and having intercourse sexual relations with humans. Now, Dr. Stella Emanuel is a really smart lady. And when I heard her talk on the Capitol steps, and then the next day I saw that hit job from, I think, the New York Post at the time, run that article that Dr. Stella Emanuel is crazy because she believes that there's alien DNA in vaccines and there's reptilians. Guess what, folks? This ain't about an election. This is about a spiritual darkness that is so deep that we can't even almost talk about it on social media anymore because they'll yank us off. Because there's an event that happened in Europe a while ago, a long while ago, that even they're lying about. And it's all connected. At that time, at that event, they injected people and gassed people. But guess what? You can't get away with it anymore because there's enough of us. There's enough social media. There's enough phones around the world. There's enough people standing up that we would never allow that kind of atrocity to happen again. So they invented things like Project Paperclip. They invented a way to get those scientists over here, and instead of in our faces extinguishing human beings for things underground, they're just going to outright do it behind our back, and then they're going to get us to pay for it through the medical, pharmaceutical, industrial complex, and they're going to do it via injections that then cause 1 in 36 in autism. So now you have a disabled human being, but they're still alive. And there's a reason why they need them still alive. That's the stuff we're going to start talking about on the network, because all of you out there who still think these injections are for immunity and they're for the good of children and they're for healthcare, you need to start studying. You need to get out of your own ego and realize you don't know everything you're talking about. You haven't studied enough. You haven't educated yourself enough. You haven't gone for knowledge. You've just taken the word for scientists and doctors and claimed that that's what needs to happen, right? But yet there's people all around you who are tirelessly studying, tirelessly going after knowledge every single day, staying up till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., going to bed, getting up at 5, 6 a.m., that are working their asses off to figure out what the answers are so they can make a good decision for their kids. So when you think you're right because you listen to a scientist on mainstream media and you listen to a physician who claim that they know what they're talking about, you need to take a step back, because the person next to you has been studying hours on end more than you, and you need to actually yield to their knowledge. And you need to have enough of a conscience to say, you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. My answers are coming from mainstream media, mainstream doctors, mainstream paid off science. And you need to yield to the people who are actually doing the work because you're not. And that's okay. Yield to them. You now get to work. And then when you get to work and you get the knowledge as well, then you can stand up with the rest of them. How about that? That's what needs to happen. Because you know what's happening now? What's happening now is the AAP wants children enrolled in COVID-19 vaccine clinical trials, which is completely insane. Completely insane. This was yesterday. The American Academy of Pediatrics is asking federal officials to include children in COVID-19 vaccine trials. On September 29th, 2020, Sarah Goza, MD, president of the AAP, wrote a letter addressed to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar and Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Stephen Hahn, MD, stating children must be included in vaccine trials to best understand any potential unique immune responses and/or unique safety concerns. This is what they're trying to do right now. So, it is time, even though everyone is freaking exhausted, it is time to stand again. Stand more, all right? Because you need to do your damn research. And don't continue asking people over and over, what do I need to know? What do I need to know? They may send you in the right direction of what you need to know. You need to do the work. That's how this gets done. It's your turn to do the work. We've already been doing it. It's your turn to research. It's your turn to gain knowledge. Now, everyone is talking about what is President Trump going to do? What is he going to do with vaccines? So this woman actually met with Tiffany Trump, President Trump's daughter, and I want you to hear what she says.
Collaborating, and I'm uniting all these religious leaders to protect the religious vaccine exemption, and something really needs to be done about that. And here's her message to me, and it made me cry. I started crying to her. She said, my dad will never mandate vaccines. She said, you tell everybody that my dad will never mandate vaccines. He has said it time and time again. That message needs to get out. She says she feels very strongly about that and that it will never happen. And then I'm like so emotional about this because it's just so magical and amazing. And then I said to her, I was like, you know, I'm from California, where we're really scared because her governor sucks, and she knows, you know, I won't actually say what she said, but she and I talked about how shitty Newsom is. I did. She agreed. And, you know, I said, you know, we are just really scared in California because we have no freedom. And she said, you know, I understand that. She took my card. She was holding on to my card. And I said to her, I was like, you know, if your family ever needs to talk to religious leaders about the vaccine issue, I have plenty. I have so many that you know, I've got rabbis and imams and pastors and priests who, you know, would be happy to speak with your dad or with you on the issue. And she was like, that's wonderful. And then there was another guy there who, he's a chief of staff, the chief of staff of something with her, and he and I started talking, and he gave me his business card. And I'm just so freaking happy that happened, to hear it from the family, from the Trump family, to tell me that they will never mandate vaccines.
So that's really important. So we must fight as always, but it is very, very important. She actually spoke to Tiffany Trump, so President Trump's daughter, via Marla Maples. So So Tiffany Trump, who is very, very close, said that President Trump will never mandate vaccines. And then she talked to some sort of chief of staff from somewhere. And that actually, by the way, so can I show you something else? That video was tweeted out by Darla Shine. Okay, Darla Shine. And then Darla, so for people who don't know Darla Shine, I will actually click on this. Darla Shine is also, I wouldn't say an anti-vaxxer. She's a vaccine advocate of information. And if you go into Darla Shine is the wife, married 26 years to Bill Shine, who's a former assistant to the President of the United States. And she also, her husband, Bill Shine, I believe now actually helps either consult or behind the scenes run President Trump's campaign. So this is not just some random tweet. This is actually really important. Okay, this is coming from Darla Shine, who is married to Bill Shine, who is former assistant to the President of the United States, and now I still believe runs on the campaign. She actually tweeted that out, okay? Very, very important. Now, vaccines, all right? Some people are not going to like this, all right? These are just memes on vaccines. Right now, we're in a meme war. We have to get out as much as we possibly can, all right? This is education, even though it seems like it's not. It seems like it can be harsh. This is the stuff we need to get out there. All right? The greatest lie ever told is that vaccines save lives and prevent disease. Okay? I think it's time people stop hiding behind the idea of vaccine choice. Vaccines are poison. A parent should not have the legal right to poison their child. Vaccines should be eliminated and made illegal. Should it be my choice to feed my children cyanide? Should I be able to put bleach in their juice? No. Then I should not be allowed to inject them with poison either. Carol Ronson. These are really great informations, okay? Or information, I should say. All right? It just goes through different things. All right, there's a good friend, Dr. Jack Wolfson. To all the pediatricians in the world, please show me the study that found 69 doses of 16 vaccines do not cause cancer, autoimmune disease, and brain injury. All right. Suzanne Humphreys, a genius. Vaccines did not save humanity and never will. Smallpox was not eradicated by vaccines, as many doctors readily say it was. They say this out of conditioning rather than out of understanding the history or science. Poliovirus was not responsible for the paralysis in the first part of the 20th century. Polio vaccine research, development, testing, and distribution has committed atrocities upon primates and humanity. Bill Gates is not a humanitarian. Vaccines are dangerous and should never be injected into anyone for any reason. They are not the answer to infectious diseases. There are many more sustainable and benevolent solutions than vaccines. She is the author of Dissolving Illusions, Disease, Vaccines, and the Forgotten History 2013. So I just want you to know you are not the only ones out there. Okay? Not the only ones out there. So stay strong. Stay true to yourself. Let's continue to fight and battle away. All right? Now, let's change some gears tonight. Let's go to, you know what? I think he's a clone. I really do. I think he's a clone because he doesn't look the same. You know, I put out a post about gay marriage the other day, and people are like, you don't believe in gay marriage? You don't believe? Did I ever say that? No, I did not say that. I don't really care what people do. I'm very libertarian on the way. I'm very constitutional on this matter. Marriage is a spiritual covenant. Government has zero right or stance in the subject. Government should stay the hell out of several things like marriage. You can go marry a purple alien if you want to. I don't really give a damn. If you're both happy and you do things in your own house and you don't bother other people around you, and you don't force your agenda on everybody else, feel free. Go for it. Go to your church, do your thing, or go to the beach or wherever the hell else you find spiritual. Do your thing and move on. But government should not be charging you for a marriage license. They should not be charging you or even being involved in marriage. However, Joe Biden is saying that there should be wide open everything, right? Well, then why the hell did he say this?
The handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here?
Wait a second, liberals. Hold on. I thought Joe Biden was Mr. LGBTQ. Oh, wait. First of all, hold on. Actually, first of all, let me do this. I need you all to see something here. Can you do me a favor? Can you tell me that that's Joe Biden? Is that the Joe Biden we're seeing today? I don't think so. Like, nothing about that looks like the Joe Biden we're seeing today. I don't think so. So wait a second. He's allowed to go ramping up about gay marriage and everything else today. Isn't it interesting how so many of these politicians, I have another clip of Joe Biden today, so you just wait. You can compare the one I showed you to the one I'm showing you next. These politicians are so insane, they'll just flip back and forth to do whatever they need to do to get voted in. I actually took a Uber ride from my house probably about 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, something like that. Got in. I don't remember why. I think my car was in the garage or something like that. And I got in. Very nice black guy driving the car. I sat up front. We were chatting on the way to the office. And I asked him what he used to do. He actually said he had worked in politics. I'm like, oh, really? I'm interested in politics. I go, what'd you do? He goes, oh, I worked for Cory Booker. Now, I didn't judge him, right? I mean, okay, if he's a liberal, great. Still having a good conversation. I said, really? He's pretty, and he actually said he was a conservative individual. The guy did. I said, so wait, you're a conservative, but you worked for Booker, who is like really, really liberal. And he said, oh, no. Cory Booker's not liberal. I'm like, what do you mean he's not liberal? He goes, oh, no. Cory Booker is conservative as it gets. I'm like, huh? He goes, no. Cory Booker is conservative, but when he needs to be liberal to keep his office, he's very liberal. He is in a very liberal district. He didn't live there. He was just running that district. Or I'm sorry, at the time, was it House at the time? I don't remember. Anyway, the area that he was in was very liberal, and he had to get reelected. So Cory Booker, growing up very much a conservative in a conservative area, had to go liberal to get his seat. And this guy totally knew it because he worked directly with Cory Booker. So these guys are literally screwing you over just to get their seats in their political space. All right? Excellent. Very good. Now, listen to what Joe Biden said today. This is Joe Biden. I have 2 clips of Joe Biden today. First of all, when you see the camera picture of him, you're going to say that's not Joe Biden. Is Joe Biden running for president, or is he running for a different office?
You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. So vote. Visit iwill.com/Ohio.
I'll run that again.
You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. So vote. Visit iwill.com/Ohio.
He's he's a proud Democrat running for Senate. Tremendous. Joe is a laugh. I mean, by the way, did that look like Joe? I don't know which one's Joe at this point, but he's running for Senate apparently. Now, he got off a plane apparently, and he forgot who Mitt Romney was. So instead of figuring out Mitt Romney's name because he has dementia, he's going to call him any other thing he can think of.
You may remember, I got in trouble when we were running against the senator who was a Mormon, the governor, okay? And I took him on. You may remember, I got in trouble when we were running against the senator who was a Mormon, the governor, okay? And I took him on.
You do realize he literally had no clue who he was talking about. So he just called him senator, a Mormon. Not that it matters, right? But yet, that's all he remembers about him, is that he was a senator, he was a governor, and he was a Mormon. But he doesn't know who he is. This is fantastic. Now, as we wind down tonight, I want to show you a couple things, and I'm going to run over tonight. It is what it is. I'm used to it at this point. There's a couple videos I want you to see. One I showed last night, but if you were on Facebook or YouTube, you did not see this. So I'm going to replay this because I think it's that important, okay? This is Alan Harrow Parrott, who is a CIA whistleblower. This has to do with Obama, Biden, and Hillary. I want you to listen to this very, very closely, okay? Very closely. Now, who they're talking to is Charles Woods, who's the father of Tyrone Woods, who was killed in Benghazi. All right, let me show you the tweet, and then I'll actually play it, okay? So Alan Harrow Parrott, CIA whistleblower, tells Charles Woods, father of Tyrone Woods, killed in Benghazi, that Obama and Biden sent Iran $152 billion as a cover-up for the deaths of SEAL Team 6. Here you go.
So that means that SEAL Team 6 was shot down on purpose after the trophy kill to ensure that no dead man can tell no tales.
You were correct. So that President Obama paid bribery of $152 million. Vice President Biden paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6. He spent their blood like currency.
Well, I've got to share something with you. Actually, Charles does. Charles, tell him about the Army Ranger that you talked to that was in the city where they were shot down.
Okay. We lived in Hawaii, and for about a month afterwards, I was in shock. And my wife and we went walking on the beach. And in the back of my vehicle, I have a bumper sticker about Ty. And this gentleman came up to me, and he was an Army Ranger that had been injured and he was recuperating in Hawaii. And he said, "How do you know Chief Petty Officer Woods?" And I said, "Well, I'm his dad." And he says, "Well, I worked with your son." And we became very close. It was part of my healing process, actually, getting to know him. He started coming to our church. His girlfriend started surfing with my daughters, and they ended up getting married. And one of the things that he told me, he says, "I was on the Ranger team that was in that village where SEAL Team 6 was killed." The story was by the Biden-Obama administration that there was this team that was under attack in this village. We're going to die if you don't get someone here really quick. And so they loaded SEAL Team 6 on this slow, vintage Huey helicopter the size of a school bus and slowly got them to the village. Now, they did not request help. They've been in that village numerous times before. In fact, if someone came, it would actually endanger them. The story was not true. And then usually when a helicopter comes in, it goes zoom right down to the ground, opens up, all the troops go out in seconds, and then boom, the helicopter goes straight up. Well, this was a sitting target, okay, the size of a school bus. It hovered in the air over that village, just waiting to be shot down. And the people hot roped. I never heard the word hot rope before. That means they each individually lowers down while it was a sitting target. And then apparently it was shot down by one of the
Believers.
So they were set up. That's what happened. Absolutely set up. And this is actually skyrocketing around social media right now, YouTube, etc., that actual clip, because it's coming out. It's coming out really, really fast. And it needs to come out because this is completely insane. Now, I'm going to move on. POTUS was in Sanford, Florida tonight, not far at all from my house. I did not go. I chose not to go because the risk reward of false flags right now, not really worth it. But he did speak. Obviously, he didn't go super long tonight, but he had a couple nice little zingers. Here we go.
With me, the nice part. I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss. No, but there is something nice. I don't have to be locked up in my basement, and I wouldn't allow that to happen anyway. I wouldn't allow it to happen. When you're the president, you can't lock yourself in a basement and say, I'm not going to bother with the world. You got to get out, and it's risky. It's risky, but you got to get out. But it does give you a good feeling when you can beat something, and now they say you're immune. I don't know for how long. Some people say for life. Some people say for 4 months. I mean, every time I think about it, every time I hear them, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter because they want it to be as bad as possible. But it is a great feeling. One thing.
So that's POTUS in Sanford. I have 2 of them. Here you go.
We're going to give you education. We're going to give you health care. We're going to give you everything. For years, Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare. You know all about that. Now Biden is pledging mass amnesty and federal health care for illegal aliens. Now, we all have a heart, and we all want to take care of people. But what you're doing is you're telling millions of people to pour up into our country. We're going to give you education. We're going to give you health care. We're going to give you everything. We can't do it. We can't afford it. We can't take care of our own people. We have to take care of our people first. And if they let that happen, you would be decimating Medicare and destroying your Social Security. While I'm president, no one will touch your Medicare. No one will touch or hurt in any way, shape, or form your Social Security.
So there you go. For anybody who's freaking out about Medicare or Social Security, he's not going to touch it. It doesn't make sense to him. Whatever they do, reset, not reset, it doesn't necessarily affect. Social Security will stay there. Medicare is going to stay there. They'll wrap something up. You can't cut off all the people who've been on those programs forever. As much as I don't like Medicare and Social Security, and I don't like it not because I don't want people helped. Obviously, if I was running the show, I would keep it too, but then I would find a way to transition out of it so that people can be in control of their own, because it was a gigantic government Ponzi scheme where they already stole all the money for Medicare. They already stole all the money for Medicaid. They stole the money for Social Security. They did that on purpose. Now, I have one video left to show you, but first, let me take you to this. Report tonight, 9 o'clock, Kevin McCarthy and several House members have launched a plan to determine if House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is mentally fit for office. Boom. How about that? Isn't that fantastic? I hope, I so hope that this gets handled. So I want to show you this because last night, I think it was last night, the Chinese Communist Party won the NBA Finals, from what I heard. I watched no sports so far this year, but apparently the LA Lakers won. I saw it in the tweet, and I cannot stand Mark Cuban, and I want you to hear this interview. It's about 4 or 5 minutes long with Megyn Kelly. Now, I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly either necessarily, but she is a decent journalist, and she does a very good job in this. coming off our video where POTUS talks about we can't just let everybody into the country and pay for everybody, listen to this interview, understanding what POTUS said in that statement, because that makes this very important.
So you tell me whether the NBA needs to get more vocal in condemning what we're now seeing there, which is an ethnic cleansing of a minority Muslim group known as the Uyghurs. 1 million or more are being held against their will right now, men, women, and children facing torture, forced labor, physical and sex abuse, coercive population control, forced abortion, forced sterilizations. And the question remains, why won't you and the NBA explicitly condemn that?
So first, we pay attention. I personally, okay, let's just talk about me. I personally put a priority on domestic issues, right? When it comes to human rights, I'm against all human rights violations around the world. China,
including the ones in China?
China is not the only country with human rights violations.
Right, but including the ones in China, you're against their human rights violations?
I'm against all human rights violations.
Including China, Mark?
Yes, including China. Any human rights violations anywhere are wrong. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what do we do about them? That's the problem, right? So the first thing you do, you say, okay, there's people from China trying to escape that. There's people from Turkey. There's people from Africa, all trying to escape and receive asylum here in the United States. Would you agree with them? Would you agree with that?
Look, according to you.
I'm asking a question. Would you agree that the question, there are people who are trying to escape human rights violations around the world and gain asylum as refugees here in the United States of America?
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Would you agree that it's probably a good idea that we should allow more of them to come so they can escape these human rights issues?
You're not going to put this back on me. This is about
No, I'm not putting anything on you. I'm just asking
NBA
a question.
and
I'm just
China.
asking you a question. No, we're talking about
No,
human
I'm
rights
explaining to my
violations.
audience that what's happening now is you're dodging because you're uncomfortable because the NBA will not condemn China and its
I just told you I'm against human rights violations everywhere, including
No.
China.
Well, let's get specific. Do you condemn the genocide that's going on right now in China toward
I
the
condemn
Uyghurs?
all human rights violations.
Why
Yes.
can't you be specific?
Yes, because the way proclamations work in this country, the minute you say them anywhere, you're going to use this as a headline. Cuban says this, this, and this.
What's
Then
wrong
I
with
gotta
that
deal
headline? Cuban condemns ethnic cleansing
because I
in
got to
China.
deal with the troll bots then. I got to deal with the troll bots. Now, what's more important to ask is what actions that I think are important to deal with these issues. You want proclamations, but you're not, when I try to talk about actions, you ignore them and say I'm evading the questions.
I have been
want
told silence is violence. And my question for you
Okay,
is,
what I'm telling you
why
is
have you been so
action is-
silent
action is
on
change.
this?
I'm telling you, action is change.
So
and I'm
what are you
telling you
doing
about
about this?
So I just tried to explain it to you, right? I've been involved trying to increase the number of slots available for asylum seekers here in the United States. Right now, if someone were to escape any country that has human rights violations and get to this country, they can't get a job.
Come on.
You know why they can't?
That's
what,
not a
you don't-
response to what's happening in China.
Bullshit,
Why
it's
would
not
you
a
take
response.
why would the NBA take $500 million plus from a country that is engaging in ethnic cleansing?
So basically, you're saying that nobody should do business with China ever.
Why don't you just answer my question?
No, Megan, I'm just trying to get to the root of it. So
Why
'cause you're
would the
just trying to
NBA do
put,
that?
Why?
You're the
Because
one.
they're a customer
You are
of
the
ours.
one who
because
said
they are a customer. They are a customer of ours. And guess what, Megan? I'm okay with doing business with China. You know, I wish I could solve all the world's problems, Megan. I'm sure you do too, but we can't. And so we have to pick our battles. And while you'd like to get proclamations so you can create a clip that says, look what I got Mark to say, you don't want to deal with the actual action items. You might think silence is violence, but action gets change, right? And so when I start to talk about creating our silence,
I mean,
you won't let me say it. You stopped me every single time and said I was changing the subject.
Providing for asylum for those seeking it does absolutely nothing to help the Uyghurs.
No. Okay,
Zero.
so first of all, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about because there are people. You know how many people are on the waiting list for visas and asylum in China right now trying to get here but can't? More than 200,000. And you know how I know that? Because it's not a published figure. Because I went to the State Department and contributed the resources to figure it out and find out what's going on. Because when people are able to get out, we don't give them a chance to come here.
Okay,
and when
but
they are able to get here, we don't give them a chance to work because they're not allowed to work. And so when they get here, and so they go into the underground economy. So all these people crying for human rights, helping the people, when we find a way to help them, we stop them. We don't help them.
So I can't stand Mark Cuban personally. There's a lot of things he does that I can't stand. I don't even love Megyn Kelly, but I mean, it is what it is. But I will tell you, she did properly go after that, because he is literally saying that they want all refugees from anywhere coming into the U.S. and we want to take care of all of them. Now, it's interesting because I actually have a friend. I'm not going to drop any names here because of privacy. But I actually have a friend who has worked on legislation regarding the Uyghurs in China and trying to help protect them in some way, shape, or form. And it's so, so important. Now, not protect them through America giving everything away, trying to get China to stop creating human rights violations over the situation. But Cuban is a total sellout to China. And then he says, no, China's a customer of ours. I can't fix the whole world. Cuban is in so deep that he can't even answer questions, but then he gets so fed up that he just answers the question and says, well, China's a customer and I can't fix everything around the world. That's how much of a sellout he actually is. And the whole point is, no, we can't fix everything necessarily. But America should stand up and say outwardly, hey, China, stop harming your people, no matter what cultural, religious background they are, the Uyghurs included. Stop it now. We're not going to go to war with you, but you need to stop it, and we need to get the rest of the world behind it to say, stop. Don't do that. No more. That's a human rights violation. And we're working on doing that. But to just say, oh no, bring them all over, that doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't fix it. It makes it worse here, because then we have to deal with the whole thing. And so I wanted to tell you that, show you that, because I don't love Megyn Kelly. I can't stand Mark Cuban. But Megyn Kelly did the right thing, which was literally, she grilled him until he folded. So I'm going to take a couple questions, but I'm going to finish off with something very, very good, because we went through a lot of stuff tonight that we have to deal with. But let me finish, before I take questions, with Timmy Boy.
God says they're created in his image. Trafficking says they're an object for my pleasure.
I think one of the reasons I'm so passionate about giving women all over the world a voice and an opportunity to reach out for help is because I have lived with that fear.
I don't know of an evil that is much darker than people that are trafficked. That's why we're not leaving the fight, only getting deeper, only doing more.
So, amazing work by Tim Tebow. Phenomenal human being. And here, let me show you that again. So, rescue them if you want to give to Tebow and his foundation. Tim Tebow Foundation right here. Okay, this is the Tim Tebow Foundation. Rescue them. Join the rescue as an advocate. Jump in there, help them. They need as much help as humanly possible. Obviously, we have a job to complete. All right, there you go. Now, we will take questions, and I will repeat that the Revolution Network, going forward, I have not figured it all out. What you're watching here tonight will be our general show. And then I have mountains and mountains of paperwork. Mountains of paperwork that need to be expressed. And they are not easily confrontable. Meaning, you're going to have to go down some roads to understand how things really work. Some of them will challenge all of your systems of belief, your stories, etc. My thought process is the current Noble Patriot group probably will not be able to handle them either, because I'm assuming that social media will not allow them to run. That's how deep they are. We're going to challenge official stories of the world and of the planet. We will go down deep, deep roads way, way back into history. So the Noble Patriot Group, Noble Patriot Group, I've been running around the clock again. Noble Patriot Group will probably go to more of a healthcare type situation. It's fine, because I can put that stuff on that platform. All right? But going forward, I don't have a date yet. But I will probably be dropping that info directly onto the network via live feed. And then it will be there in a content, okay? So I just want you to know that, because if you're not in the network, you will not see that stuff. It's going to go on the network at some point, all right? I just want you to know that, all right? Because it's going to be deep information and it will be big, all right? So therevolutionnetwork.com, there is an email feed there. I'm going to show you again, so you have it, okay? Go here, up will pop, all right? Up will pop an email, subscribe. If it doesn't pop up, they're working on it. So if it doesn't pop up, you go up here to stay up to date in the top right corner, and you go to there, and you will be notified. You'll be notified of when we go, all right? There you go. Excellent. What kind of questions do we have tonight? I like how we're climbing back up towards that 3,000 live number. Let's do it. Excellent. The cough went away, guys. Have you not noticed the cough was gone for like 3 months? The cough was gone. You do realize the stress has amped up again. We are 3 weeks before the election, okay? Not worried about it. If you guys think there was a cough now, were you listening like 6-7 months back before I had handled it? I don't think you did. It was much worse. It's nothing now. And it actually went away for several months. Good. Hillary arrested soon. I think Hillary was technically already arrested, but that's my personal opinion. Okay? Excellent. Let's see. The group, Christy has put up the group. Any updates on Gitmo? Did you know Gitmo had, did you know Gitmo had a $550 million renovation? Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Gitmo had a massive, here it is. This one says 200 million, but I think it was actually 500 million. The Trump administration, here you go, has more than 200 million in new construction teed up for Guantanamo. This was in 2018. All right. Now, the other interesting thing is, let me show you this. Let me see if I can find it. I think they had an emergency broadcast system as well. Let's see. I don't know if I can find that one or not. Let's see. This one's, here you go. I don't know if this one's it or not. They did have an emergency alert system that they were actually bidding on. Here, yeah, I can't find it. I'll look for it later. Not a big deal. Let's see. Somebody thinks I cough because of e-cigarettes. That's hilarious. Questions. The vaccines that Trump apparently believes that the military will be pushing out there, they believe are actually in the indictments, not actually vaccines. Okay. Migraines. Oh, Timura, we handle migraines all the time. Yes, absolutely all the time. Let us know. Here is some information. If you go to noblepatriothealth.com, we will help you with those. The noblepatriotkids.com site is for the kids line of products that parents are loving. All right. Yes, good point, Christy. If you do not have emails being sent to you from me, check your spam folder. They're probably sitting in there. Here is the parasite protocol, patriotnutrition.com. Marianne, I help with migraines. You have to go to noblepatriothealth.com, okay? Women and hair loss. Joy, we got to handle that thyroid for you. Vivian, AFib. Yes, of course. Let's get the thyroid and the heart handled. All right? Yes, we will handle that, all right? The kids' vitamins are amazing. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Ashley, send us in a nice little success story. I would love that so we can help some more people. Thank you. Let's see. Colloidal silver. I like sovereign silver. Arthritis. Phyllis. Yes, arthritis. We got to lower the sugar. We got to handle the liver. Martha with occipital neuralgia. We got to get some chiropractic for you. Panic attacks. Yes, Dan. I know directly how to handle panic attacks. Kendra, ADD, absolutely. I just talked about ADD tonight at my office. I love handling ADD because they labeled me ADD, okay? Handle that all the time. Yes, AFib and thyroid, because the thyroid actually controls the heart rhythm. They don't tell you that. Your thyroid controls the heart rhythm. If your thyroid goes up or goes down, it's going to affect the rhythm, all right? Let's see. The shirt was given to me, and I have to go look up who it was, I think. I think I mentioned it in another show. Let's see. What's my take on TENS machines? They can be beneficial. I prefer to fix the problem, though. Hip pain from the back, because your hips are out of alignment. Do I think Charlie Ward is a fraud? I have no reason to believe that. I've talked to him behind the scenes. He seems like a nice person, but I don't know for sure. I couldn't tell you. I can only tell you that I've had good discussions and conversations with him. I've interviewed him before. You can find that. Nicole, you were born without a thyroid. That's interesting. You still need thyroid support. Prostate cancer. Cut the sugar. Cut the sugar and then handle parasites. PatriotNutrition.com for parasites. Kimberly Ann made the shirt. Sweet, Kimberly Ann. Raising wolves, not sheep. You rock, Kimberly Ann. There we go. Look, Kimberly Ann, I just put you up on the deal. Look at that. How do you like that? I put you up. Kimberly Ann, I put up on the thing because she made the shirt. Fantastic. Thank you, Kimberly Ann. All right. Cool. Bartonella. Yes. Yvonne, Bartonella, I directly help handle that. Yes. Yep, it's actually in my kit. Energetically, that is. Okay. We handle colon issues, absolutely. You're very welcome. Yes, Kimberly, you're welcome. Let's see. Golfer's elbow. Yeah, you need some ligament support and you need it to be adjusted. Absolutely. Carbohydrates are sugar. That is correct, Johnny. Well done. Fantastic. Oh, kidney stones. We handle those. Honestly, there isn't so much we don't handle, to be honest with you. We've handled so many different things. We have 5 or 6 practitioners at our office. Absolutely. Let's see. How to fall asleep at night. Good question. Depends on what you have going on. But most people are very deficient in melatonin is what I've been learning. But you also got to get the body to settle down. It needs B vitamins. All right. Med beds. My opinion on med beds is I am not getting overly excited about them. How about that? Not because I don't want them, but I don't believe that we're just going to heal the whole planet, right? Because guess what? You have free will. Now, will they have maybe some technologies that will be able to figure out what's going on and do some things with DNA? Totally. But I kind of look at med beds how I look at like Nasera, Jasera, and the Jubilee, all right? I don't think that they're just going to magically wipe away everyone's debt overnight and you're all going to be perfectly fine and everyone's going to have more money than they know what to do with, because that's not how life works, okay? Life works by making choices, taking risks, not taking risks, and you're not going to just get money handed to you and be fine forever because people have to work for stuff. Med beds, I feel the same way. They're not going to just wipe away everyone's health problems over and over, because guess what? People are going to still be able to make choices between drinking sodas and eating junk food or eating healthy, right? Med beds may be able to find stuff in the body, but no, I don't think people are just going to be healed overnight. Sorry, I'm very analytical when it comes to healthcare and when it comes to finance, okay? I can have fun with JFK Jr. stuff all day long, and I truly believe there's a possibility that he's alive because I know how this stuff works. But if you ask me when it comes to health and finance, two areas that I'm very analytical, very conservative with, no, you're not going to just fix people overnight. You're not going to just make people rich overnight. Life doesn't work that way, and it never will work that way, okay? May, high cholesterol depends on how high it is, because not everyone who has high cholesterol really has high cholesterol. You need cholesterol, okay? Good. Let's see. Okay, a couple more, and then I'm going to call it a night. Couple more. Painful ganglion cyst. B rubble. Painful ganglion cyst. I used to have them in my wrists because I played golf, all right? And they used to be super painful. The only thing that ever handled them was changing of my diet and lifestyle. I had to cut sugar. When I did that, those went away. Red light infrared is very good. Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. Do we ship products to Australia? Yes, we can. Absolutely, Sarah. Let us know. Breast cancer. We help with breast cancer. I can't say cure or heal. We're not allowed to say that stuff. But we can help. Yes, 100%. I'm going to do a breast cancer show probably as well, because it is October and I need to expose the fraud that the Susan G. Komen Foundation is. If you didn't know that, I'm so sorry, but I'm letting you know now, and we will go into it, okay? Johnny, I haven't played golf in years. I used to be single handicap. I am no longer. I can still hit it, I can still play, but I can't play like I used to. Short game probably isn't there, and accuracy is not where it used to be, okay? Good question. Inflamed Achilles tendon. Ooh, that's a rough one. We got to cut down the sugar. We got to find out why it's inflamed. It could be parasitic in that area. As you know, there's a lot of parasites. Parasite protocol right here. PatriotNutrition.com. Full moon coming. Full moon coming. Full moon coming. I'm working on a metal detox. Yes, 100%. Okay. Good. There is working with me. That works directly with me every day. Okay, that is the kids line. How about that? Excellent. All right, guys. One last question, and then we'll head out for the night. But let's see. Yes, ammo shortages everywhere, Vivian. There's ammo shortage everywhere. High blood sugar. We got to cut the carbs. Got to cut the carbs. I'm not answering questions about the greatest false flag. That will be on the network. You guys can type it in all you want to, but I'm not going to answer it. Yes, it starts with an H, ends with a T. But that's it. Okay. Ammoseek.com for your ammo needs, apparently. Let me go look at that one, because I might need some. Thank you, sir. I got to go see if they even have any. Blackouts, we'll find out. Lyme, David. Yes, Lyme. David, will you work with me? Yes, Lyme. Of course we handle Lyme. Lyme all the time. Always handle Lyme. I believe in intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting. Yes. I typically eat 2 times a day. Typically. Okay. Awesome. Okay, guys. Do you have to handle heavy metals before parasites? It depends on the person. Not necessarily. Sometimes it depends on how many heavy metals you have, but not always. No. Sometimes we can do it without heavy metals. If you have problems getting rid of them, of the parasites, then you might have heavy metals tied to it. We wouldn't know that until we found out, though. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Love you all. As always, as we finish off tonight, you're amazing. Please keep all the positive vibes, the vibrations, the frequencies high. As I always tell you, please, tomorrow, this week, go and serve and help somebody. All right? Make someone's day. Be kind to your fellow human. Let's do this. I love you all, Noble Patriots. You're amazing people. I hope this brought value to you as always. Have an awesome rest of your night, and let's get ready for the next several weeks.